So we'll be talking about like SAS, introduction about SAS. So actually, what is SAS? So SAS stands for Statistical Analysis Software. Okay, this is a, we can say, statistical analysis system also. It began North Carolina State University. So mainly like SAS is a combination of a statistical package. It's a database management system and it has a high level programming tool. Okay, this is a high level programming tool. So the main uses of SAS is data entry, data management, report writing, graphics, statistical and mathematical analysis, like in operation and research and project management and application development. So in different domains we are using, like mainly in clinical domain and banking domain, like in retail, there are different many job opportunities are there nowadays. So when you open the SAS software, you can see five windows. That is mainly editor window, log window, output window, explorer window, and the result window. So I can show you the software here. Then you will understand more. See, this is the editor window, and this is the log window. This is the output window, and this is the explorer window, and this is the result window. So here, this editor window is mainly for writing and editing and saving the programs. So here, this editor window, we can write anything. This is the place we will write the programming. So I'll tell you, for writing the program, we need to follow some procedures. So I'll tell you in detail everything. So first we will see, like what all the windows. So log window is something like, what all the programs you have written. If there is any error or any warning message, notes, it will pop up in the log window. So this is the editor window. If you submit the program, if if there is any error or something, it will show in the log window. Because I didn't write the program properly, that's the reason it's showing error. So log window is mainly for checking the errors. And output window is something if you submitted any program in the editor window, the output window will pop up with the output. Normally it's like that, right? If you give any input, we will get an output. So in the output window, the result will be pop up. So in the Explorer window, once you click on the Explorer window, you can see libraries, some files. This is mainly for accessing SAS files. Okay. From the result window, this is more or less like output window. But in the output window, the current current program's result will be there. But in the result window, if you're doing if you're handling with many multiple programming, then result window is step by step program will be there. So mainly five windows: editor, log, output, explorer, result. Okay. So let me go to the slide. This is one. So mainly SAS works in two steps. One is data steps and the procedure step. So SAS data set, SAS expect your data to be in a special form that is called the data set. Okay. SAS data set is a tabular form with observations and variables. I'll tell you what is observation and what is variable. Let me go to the our software again. This is software. So this is the editor window. So I told you this is the place we will write the programs in the editor window. So so I'll write a simple program here, then after that I'll explain you the basic things. So data. I'll tell you like what is data, what is clinic, what is input. I just wanted to write a simple program and want to start. So input. This is a very simple program I have written here. Okay. So you can see there are two columns, like like one is starting with data keyword, another one is starting with proc keyword. So that means SAS works in two steps. That is, one is data step and the another one is procedure step. Proc means procedure. So data step always start with a keyword called data. Okay. So following the data, I have given a name called clinic. That is the data set name. So you can give any name, like it should be some standard, like you need to follow some naming convention rules. I will tell you what are that. But like after following the data, you need to give a name. That is the data set name. Then after that, you can see an input statement here. Then after that, I have written sex, height, weight, and all. So in Excel, you might have seen like there are columns and rows, right? Excel sheet, you might have seen columns and rows. So here also, like in SAS also we have something like columns and rows, but in SAS the columns we say variables. Columns are variables and the rows are observations. Understood? So here I have given like after the input statement I have given sex, height, weight. These are the columns. So that means these are the variables. Okay, variables. So these are variables. So and like after that I have given the card statement. So down I have given some observations that are the rows. That is for the sex I have given the value female, height is 155, weight is 45. Then again one more rows are the male 160, 49. So input statement is for to pass the variable values, that is column values, and card statement is for to pass the observation values, that means row values. You understand, I said just like columns and rows. So sex, height, weight, this is the simple, very simple data set I have written here. So there are three variables here. What are the sex, height, weight, and some observations like I have got here two observations. For the sex, one female, one male, and for the height also I have two values. So these are the observations. And after that run statement. Run statement is to execute the program. Okay. So you can see here after sex I have given dollar symbol, after height and weight I didn't give anything. So I think in that itself you can understand why I have given, right? Because sex is, you can see the character variable. Sex is a character variable. You can see this is letters F and M. So and the height and weight are like numbers, that is numeric. So in SAS there are two types of variables. That is, let me go to the page. So I told you SAS dataset. SAS expects your data to be in a special form called SAS dataset. So SAS dataset is a tabular form with observations and variables. So I'll run and show you how it will be. The tabular form I will show you. And there are variables and observations. I told you variables are columns and observations are rows. And then SAS program contains two steps, that is data step and procedure step. So data step, you are seeing that data step begins with data statements and it can read and modify the data and it creates a data set. I'll show you that. Okay. And for proc step begins with the proc statement and it performs specific analysis function that is mainly for reporting purpose. Okay. So back to here. So here, so I told you there are two types of variables. One is character variable and the another one is numeric variable. So sex is a character variable. That is the reason I have put a dollar symbol here. If you don't put a dollar symbol, SAS will not be able to read the data. Okay, I'll show you with dollar symbol what happens, without dollar symbol what happens. So for the numeric variable, you don't have to give you don't have to give a dollar symbol. Understood? Okay. Now I have written a data set. So now you need to submit the program. To submit this program, can you see a running man button here? You need to click that. Now you submitted the program. Now next step is what? You need to go to the log window and you need to check it. Is there any error in this program? You see here, go to the log window. See the data set work.clinic. I'll tell you what is work. Work.clinic. Clinic, this is the name we have given. Has two observations and three variables. That means we have given two observations here and three variables. We have given sex, height and weight variables and observation also. I think one female, those data we have given here, right? See, two observations and two variables. So there is no error. So it's created. Data work.clinic has created. So that means no error. So now for accessing the data, you just go here, Explorer window and check the libraries. Check the libraries. So once you click the library, you can see many things, SAS help and SAS user and work. So there are two kinds of libraries, permanent library and temporary library. So temporary library is work library and this you can see SAS help and SAS user, those are permanent libraries someone already created. We can also create using like name statement we have, like we need to study that also. We will be studying that. So you need to go and check, if you don't give any, you didn't create any permanent library here. So you need to go to the work library and you need to check. See the clinic data set created here. So once you click on that, I'll explain, what is work library, what is permanent library in detail. So clinic, see clinic data set, like Excel, how you see, sex, height, weight, and two observations in a tabular form. You can see it, right? Okay. So now just close this view table and then go to the editor window. See the next step I have given proc print procedure, print procedure, that is. So once you click that print procedure, next you have given the run statement to execute the print procedure. So once you click the proc print and click on this again, this submit button, output will pop up. You see output. This is list of output. So if you don't give this proc print, you need to go and access the data set from the Explorer window. If you give the proc print, then you can see the output window. The result will be in the output window. See, what is this OBS? This is observation numbers. The first one is, this one, and because we have given two observations, two. It's very easy to follow. Right. Then in the result window, you see the result window, click here. So you can see the data set work.clinic. Here also you can see the result. See? Then if you give, in some like if you write, other program, the next step it will be there. Like that, step by step, the results will be there. But in the output window, you can see the current output only. Understood? So here, you see now I'm going to remove this dollar symbol. Okay. We'll see what will happen without dollar symbol. Okay. See, I'm going to submit this all this together. You can do that also. See, this is the submit button. You can use this submit button or you can use in your keyboard F3. F3 key also you can use it. I'll be using throughout the class this submit button because you can see it. Okay. See, sex is missing. Right? Sex is missing here. There is a missing value here. Why? Because you go to the log and check, what happened. See, there were two observations read from the dataset where everything happened, but you can see the error here. See, there is an error. See, error is equal to 1. Where? Invalid data for sex in the line. So, you can see, there is something happened in the sex area. So, there, just go and see, yeah, then that time, you will come to know, I have missed it, dollar symbol. So, for the character variable, we need to put a dollar symbol after the variable name. Following that variable name, we need to put a dollar symbol. See, everything will be there in the log. So, you don't have to worry anything, like everything will be in the log, what all the, mistake you have made it, everything will be in the log, See, now, one more thing, after each statement, data clinic, this is one statement, dataset name, right? Data, after that I have given the dataset name. Input, after that I have given the variable list. Then cards, I have given the observations. So after each statement, you can see a semicolon here. Understood? So what is that? End of each statement, you need to put a semicolon. Semicolon is must. That indicates that line is ended. Okay. So here dataset name, semicolon, input. This we call it as complete syntax of data step. Okay. Complete syntax of data step. So data clinic input variable list. So variable list is completed here. Then cards. Cards, semicolon. So you are giving the observations. Okay, so each observation you don't need to give because where is the end? Here observation ended. If you have more observation, you can write. But in the end of the observation, you need to put a semicolon. Got it? Okay. So let me work again. This now I have explained. So, okay. So normally how SAS works? Like in the log window you have seen, how many observations are created, how much time it took, how many variables are created. Okay. So behind SAS what it happens? There are two steps. One is compilation and the execution. Compilation step and the execution. Normally SAS what it will do is once you give a code, if everything is right, syntax is correct, the name you have given is correct, I'll tell you the naming roles and everything, but everything is correct, then SAS will translate into this language, SAS language, machine language. So that is compilation. It will compile, the SAS will translate to machine language. Then each step SAS will execute step by step. If you have two observations, first it will work with the first observation, then it will write, then the second observation. So step by step, it's not like everything at a time. So first it will see the first observation, then second observation, then third observation, something like that. So there are three things created, PDB, descriptor information, So first PDV is something like, in the PDV only data set is built. That is program data vector. Okay. So PDV, input buffer and descriptor information. So in the PDV, SAS will check the, if syntax everything is correct, SAS will process, one observation at a time. So then so in between input buffer is created. Why input buffer is creating is SAS is saying do not go to the next data set. So then execution. So execution, so everything is correct, then SAS will execute. Okay. So I've told you there are two types of variables. One is character variable and the another one is numeric variable. So if there is any missing data, I'll show you what is missing data. See, I have given here two observations correctly, like sex also have value, height also have value, weight also have value. So what it happens if this weight is missing here? Okay, one second. We put a dollar symbol here. So see, this value is missing, right? There is a dot here. So this value is missing. What will happen? We'll see. See, this value is missing here. Since it is a numeric variable, weight is a numeric variable, you got the missing value as dot. You got the missing value as dot. And what it happens like, if female is missing, it's a character variable. So if if you're going to clinical field or, like any other field, what normally exactly what you do, they will have this clinical coordinator, they will have already designed some data, right? So the data entry people will be entered the data already, so you will be handling with like thousands or thousands of observations, so there can be a chances of missing values. All value won't be there. So there can be a chances of missing values. So I told you there are two types of variables, character variable and numeric variable. So if numeric variable value is missed, then you will get a missing value as dot. I showed you the weight case. But if it is a character value, it will be a blank there. You see. Here I'm going to submit it right now. See here, it's a blank. You can see it, right? Since it is a numeric variable, we have got it as a dot. If it's a character variable, we will get it as a blank. Okay. So that is also clear. So let me go to repeat. Okay. The numeric variable is represented by dot. Character variable, it will be blank. Okay. So this is a simple data set. This data set we have written the same way. I have given data patients. Patient is the data set name. I'll tell you, while giving the data set name, you need to follow some rules. And input name dollar, because name is a character variable, Anita. Okay. Height. This is a numeric variable, and this is a okay. This is like run proctoring data is equal to patients. That is, I have given proctoring there because I don't have many data sets there. I have only one. So normal syntax is proctoring data is equal to data set name. Like how you have written data is equal to patients. Same. Okay, but anyway, I'll explain you in detail all those kind of things. Now, SAS naming rules. See, I have given patient, I have given clinic, I can't give any name. So I need to follow some rules. Okay, it can be like, okay, it can be in a combination of character or numeric. It can be a combination of character, numeric or underscore. No space in between, no special characters are not allowed. And dataset or variable name cannot start with numbers. The maximum length of dataset cannot exceed 32 character long. Dataset or variable name can begin with either character or underscore. The only special character we can use is underscore. By default, SAS reads only 8 bytes. 8 bytes means 8 characters and 12 numbers. Okay. So here, I will show you. You see here, data clinic I have given. So I told you it can start with alphabets, but it cannot start with numbers. The only special characters we can use here is underscore. You can start with underscore. You can't use any other special characters here. Okay, so we'll try it. See what will happen if you start with a number. See, data 1 clinic I have mentioned. So you see what will happen. In the login, that is previous output. You see, in the login, we will get a warning. See, the dataset workbook clinic may be incomplete when the sticker stored 0 observations and 3 variables. So they couldn't give the observations because the options or parameter is not ready. You will get some warning messages, something like that. So it's something like, you can start with letters only. You can write clinic, okay, or underscore clinic, okay. So you can't write, one clinic, and you cannot write, clinic space 1 because there no spaces are not allowed in between. So you can write clinic 1 like this. That is acceptable. Understood? So it can start with only alphabets or underscore. It cannot start with numbers. The only special character allowed is underscore. And you can't have spaces in between. The maximum length you can have is 32 characters long. Understood? So by default, SAS will take only 8, but for that also we have an option. You can use the length statement and you can do that. But maximum you can use 32 characters. Now I will be showing you. Okay. Okay. So next is set statement. So normally, you will have a data set. You will have an original data set, right? So for that data set, actually, you need to, if you have to do some analysis, we have got many procedures and many functions. Using that only we will be analyzing the data. Nowadays, in all, everything is we will be doing everything with data, right? So that data to be maintained. So for that, we need to analyze the data. For analyzing the data, we will be using some functions and procedures and all. So here, using the set statement, if you have a data set like this, see, if you have a data set like this, if you have a data set like this, if you wanted to do some some other procedures or some other you wanted to use some sum or addition round or all functions, any functions you need. I will be teaching you all of all those functions only. So for that actually you cannot, if you have thousands of observations, you cannot write again each data, right? So you can just copy the parent data set. You can just copy the parent data set. That means using the set statement, you can just copy and just we can create a new data set. See, I have, told you here few and here also simply put some numbers. Anyway. Okay. So here, see, like I'm going to create another data set from the original data set. My original parent data set is this one. Okay, from this I just wanted to filter only the female things. Only the female candidate I need to filter. So what you will do? So like using the set statement, first you need to copy the data set. So you are going to create a new data set. So you need to give a different name here. This is a new data set. This symbol will be familiar once you start doing it. Using so data clinic one. So what you will do for copying, you will use the set statement. So set clinic, that is the parent data set. Set clinic. Okay. So here if that is if female, here I have given the variable name if sex is equal to female, run. Okay, if that sex is equal to female, then run. Sometimes. Okay. So now only we will be filtering only the female ones. I'll show you why I put codes, and I will be teaching you all those things. So now you have the two data sets. You see, clinic one is also there. Use it. Go to the log. See, because I changed the data set name again, right? So you need to submit this data set once again, because we for showing the errors, the naming convention, I just changed the name, right? So you need to submit the data set again, then you go to go and submit this. Now it will be perfect. Now you see, explore window, clinic one, you have got only the female candidate. Got it? Anyway, like if condition and all we have many things like we need to follow. So anyway, this is a so these things on the we can result. So what are the topics we'll be covering is in the base SAS. These are the topics we'll be covering in the base SAS and the advanced SAS. So actually that is mainly what is SAS, writing your first SAS program that I have showed you, how to write a simple program. So and how do we can read from anything, you will be getting the earlier and all it's paper, now so it's an EDC, electronic data capture. So you'll be getting as Excel sheet or comma separated file. So we have a procedure to access. SAS can access data from anywhere. So we have a procedure to access from Excel or CSV, transforming various formats and everything, and creating permanent library. I told you there are two types of library. So I'll show you how to create the permanent library, and subsetting using conditional statement if statement, where statement, and creating formats and labels. You can label the data set, and conditional processing and do loop, how to use it, and working with dates and working with numeric functions. We have several functions, many functions are the numeric functions and character functions. So frequently used, using functions, we'll be discussing it, and working with arrays. And these are the chapters, we'll be covering it. Input techniques and even SQL and macros also we'll be covering it. So I hope you understood, like, at least the basic things what is happening in SAS. So we will see you, other things in the next class. Thank you.